a lot of the consideration I give to my kids. Can't nobody come over here and expect me to be telling you where I'm fixing to go. I'm not. And I'm not about to be asking you every 5 minutes where you're going either. So if I come together with somebody, I need you to have your own shit going on over there. And I need to have my own shit going on over here. And we'll come together in the evening for dinner and a board game or whatever fuck we do.
You have to have your
Like you have
individuality.
to.
You have to.
You have to. And that only comes, that type of security only comes from having been able to sit with yourself and understand yourself. Because then when you get with somebody, you're going to trust them. You're going to trust them. You're going to allow them the space to be who they are because you've already paid attention. You see how they move. You're not going to jump into a commitment with somebody that you're unsure of. Like these things come with trial and error. If you have relationships with people and they fuck you up, and then you jump into the next relationship, but you haven't figured out how they were able to fuck you up,
yeah, you lost in the
you
sauce, man.
lost.
You lost in the sauce.
You're going to get messed up in the same way in the next relationship. So it's a good idea to learn yourself, to sit with yourself, to spend some time by yourself because that shit's lit.
Yeah. And I want to do this again because, you know what I'm saying, they gave me something that they didn't even know that they gave me. You know what I'm saying? I got the ability to sit with myself, and I am strong in that area. So shout out to Texas Department of Corrections and California Department of Corrections.
Yeah, for real.
Y'all have given me the golden nugget to know how to sit by myself and be all right in that energy.
You gotta know how to acknowledge those opportunities. Look at things for what they are.
What is needed to foster strong connections, you know, romantic connections in the Black community. You know what I'm saying? And for some reason, as soon as I asked that question, I could hear Tia's voice in the back of my head saying honesty. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and it's true. It's true. That's probably one of the first things that it needs to be. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop telling lies. You know what I'm saying? But I want to kind of like throw that around and find out different ways that, you know what I'm saying, we can ourselves, you know what I'm saying, exude informative, um, be the billboard of fostering romantic relationships. So you know what I'm saying. What does that look like?
I know for me, I'll start off. For me, it would be self love. I feel like that's what we're missing. And I say self love because, sometimes we don't know how to love ourselves, really love ourselves. My trainer says it every day, like, when you going to be the best you can be, Tia? So that's what that self love is. Self love is, investing in yourself, whether it's the intake, like you said, of what we were talking about earlier, of your social media, what you ingest. It can be what you're eating. When you start to eat right, you start to live right and do right, people around you will attract to you, and they'll see that, and then everything else will be what it is and what you manifested. So when you love yourself, really love yourself, you start to try to be the best, whether it's your mental, whether it's your spiritual, whether it's your verbal, whether it's your physical, whether it's your personality, anything in any way that you can be your best and self-love yourself. And I feel like that's what we're missing. We're missing self-love. Because when you love yourself, everybody else will love you too.
Man, come on. And that is
That's good, Tia.
definitely
Yeah.
that's
That's good, Tia.
definitely the first step leading toward building a community that supports us in our love relationships, right? Everything starts at home. It starts with self, like you said. Once you spend that time with yourself, you sit with yourself and you understand yourself and you learn to love yourself. We talk about this all the time. It's so cliche. Oh, love yourself. But it's easier said than done. But once you have set the standard, once you understand what it feels like to receive the type of love you want to receive because you're giving it to yourself, you are setting a standard for the types of energies, the types of people that you allow in your space, that you allow to love you, that you allow to pour into you, because there's going to be certain things that you or your spirit rejects. It's going to be certain people, certain conversations that you're not going to want to participate in. They're going to make you uncomfortable. There's going to be certain places that you're no longer going to want to go once you begin to learn what it feels like to love yourself. And so we have to foster a love relationship with ourselves so we understand what that looks like. And then we need to foster relationships with friends or people outside of ourselves who mirror the same beliefs that we have come to believe about love for ourselves. And that goes into what you were saying about, the things that we ingest, our intake, the things that we see, the places we go. And eventually you create your community. Now you have created a community of people who love like you love. You have attracted a certain level of loving relationships outside of your personal relationship. And then that is going to start to change the things that you're ingesting. And then that community is going to grow, because if you're dealing with like-minded people, um they're probably dealing with like-minded people as well. And so it's very important that you start with yourself to build your own community, so that community looks like what you need it to look like.
Nice. You know what? I want to answer this. And what do we need to foster good, stronger romantic relationships in the Black community? I have to come from a man's perspective first. You know what I'm saying? And as men, me first, and as men in general, I think that we need to put on the forefront of our minds anytime that we're around the sisters, man, that, you know what I'm saying, that we secure them. And with that, you know what I'm saying, comes protection and coverance, and not only that, they should always, in our presence, walk and take the steps of a queen. You know what I'm saying? And I know we've thrown the word queen around and king around so much and everything, and it has gotten watered down. But let me say this, it's really, really not. Because the simple fact is, not, let me say it, it is. But the reason why is because we're dropping the ball. You know what I'm saying? We're dropping in a ball because when they come into a room and there's 5 men in there, or whatever the case may be, they shouldn't want to anything. Or what, they shouldn't have. They should be taken care of.